Mental health literacy is all about understanding mental health, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. It was first introduced in 1997 and refers to knowledge about mental disorders that helps us recognize, manage, and prevent them. This includes spotting signs of mental illness, knowing risk factors, and understanding both self-help and professional resources. Having high mental health literacy means we can recognize problems earlier and reduce stigma around mental health. It also leads to
Mindful breathing is a simple yet powerful way to calm your mind and body. By focusing on your breath, you anchor yourself in the present moment and ease stress. It activates your body's relaxation response, shifting you from chaos to calm. Practicing mindful breathing can lower blood pressure and reduce anxiety. It also sharpens your focus and helps you manage your emotions better. Over time, it builds resilience and can even improve your sleep quality. One effective technique is box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. You can also try belly breathing. Just place a hand on your abdomen and feel it rise and fall with each breath.
Coping skills are essential for managing stress and navigating life's challenges. They come in many forms, some healthy, like exercise and mindfulness, and some unhealthy, like avoidance or substance use. The goal is to help us adjust in the moment and recover over time. Healthy coping strategies improve resilience and protect our mental health. They can lower anxiety, boost problem solving, and give us a sense of control. Using effective coping skills builds confidence in handling adversity. This makes future challenges feel less overwhelming. Building these skills is an ongoing process. Try relaxation techniques like deep breathing or journaling to process emotions.
Rapid cycling bipolar disorder means experiencing intense mood swings more frequently than usual. It's defined as having 4 or more mood episodes in a year, whether that's mania, hypomania, or depression. This can happen in both bipolar and bipolar II disorders. People with rapid cycling can shift between highs and lows in just days or weeks. These quick changes often come with more severe symptoms and a higher risk of suicidal thoughts. Treatment can be tricky, as rapid cycling is often resistant to standard therapies. A tailored treatment plan is essential for managing these mood swings. Common
Emotional regulation is all about managing your feelings effectively. It's recognizing, understanding, and expressing emotions in healthy ways. Instead of pushing feelings down, you learn to work with them constructively. When you regulate your emotions well, you improve your relationships and decision-making. You also build resilience and experience less conflict and stress. This clarity can even boost your physical health over time. Unchecked emotions like anger or anxiety can really take a toll on your body. So, how can you practice emotional regulation? Techniques like journaling and mindfulness meditation are great starts. Therapy can also be a powerful tool for emotional growth.
My name is Dr. Ashley Smith, and I'm a licensed psychologist, author, and co-founder of Peak Mind, the Center for Psychological Strength.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your own mental health journey?
Yeah. So I think for me, really, it goes back to as a kid, I was socially anxious before I knew what social anxiety was. And that was really tied into a rare vision impairment that I have. So I have a degenerative retinal condition that makes me legally and increasingly blind. And for most of my life, I grew up trying to hide that and trying to fake.
I am Crystal Casagnazzi, and I am a school and clinical psychologist.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit about me. I am a first generation Canadian. So my parents were immigrants, and so definitely that was one layer where I was the first one to be born, and I think a lot of pressure to, do things since they came to a different country to give you a better life. I think there was always a disconnect between us and them to kind of understand the life that
Jason A. Jones, and I'm the founder of Positive Pieces LLC.
Can you tell me about your personal journey?
Yes, so I was born with on my right hand, three fingers on my right hand, and throughout my life, I've gone through obstacles and overcome them, which is why I wrote the book Three the Hard Way: Overcoming Obstacles and Making It Happen. I went through from losing a job and regaining employment from getting in a car accident that I had to over.
Paul Samard. I'm an entrepreneur and founder of multiple community organizations, including the Canoe and Humanity.
Can you tell me first about your own mental health journey?
For sure. I think one of the most interesting parts, or the most important parts to start with, really, is that there's no big Hollywood moment in my mental health journey. My mental health journey is exactly that. It's a
My name is Kiki Failing, and I am a licensed psychologist.
Can you tell me about your life journey?
Sure. So, oh my gosh, where to start? I think the thing that I am interested in talking about here today is I've always been a very emotionally sensitive person. I've struggled with various types of depression and anxiety throughout my life. And I've always just felt emotions very strongly and have cared a lot about other people. And so as I went through my schooling and um,
My name is Sherry Heller. I'm a trauma therapist and an interfaith minister, hypnotist.
What inspired you to become a trauma therapist?
The trajectory of becoming a trauma therapist really began with my own history of trauma. I was born into very unfortunate circumstances. My mother was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. My father, although not officially diagnosed, presented with narcissistic personality disorder. And my childhood was very debilitating. I was a selective mute. In my formative years, I almost died from sepsis.
My name is Bill Alexander, and I am the CEO of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund.
So today the big study came out. Can you tell me about the study and what were the key findings?
Sure. So we, the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, catalog and collect all of the data related to law enforcement line of duty deaths every single year, in part because we honor those men and women who have sacrificed their lives on behalf of us and inscribe their name on what we view as a very sacred wall in terms of the memorial, a picture which, of course, is behind me now. So in part, we're collecting the data for that, but also
Owen Marquez, co-founder of MELD.
What inspired you to create MELD?
To make a long story short, I got into working with men 30 years ago because I realized that I needed to sort of up-level my relational skills. I didn't have bad relationships with women, but they weren't what I really wanted. And I started realizing that maybe having a men's group would help. And one thing led to another. 30 years of quite a few men's groups. 20 years ago, changing that model of
Dan Lukasik, and I am the creator of the Buffalo Depression Project website.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Yeah, so I'm 64. I'm a lawyer. When I was about 40 years old, I was working at my law firm. I was in a leadership position, and I was at some point diagnosed with major depression. It was basically three symptoms, really. One was I was sad all the time. I kept that to myself, but just felt.
My name is Yolanda Zhang, and title, this is a hard one. I'm not sure which one to pick, but I'm currently a grad student in a master's of counseling psychology program, but I'm also the executive director of a nonprofit called Girls Strong, and I'm an author. So I guess those three things.
Yeah, you're not giving yourselves enough credit. You do so much.
Thank you.
So can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Yeah, for sure.
The holidays are often seen as a joyful time, but for many, they can bring a heavy emotional weight. Holiday depression is real, and it's not about being ungrateful or negative. It's a response to loneliness, pressure, and painful reminders of what's missing. For some, it highlights lost loved ones or changed relationships. Financial stress and social expectations can add to the burden, making it hard to feel happy. Anxiety and trauma can make celebrations feel overwhelming and overstimulating. Shorter days and less sunlight can also impact our mood and energy levels. Signs of holiday depression include irritability, sadness, and feeling disconnected from the season. Many hide these feelings to avoid ruining the holidays for others, but that silence can deepen the loneliness. Remember, holiday depression is common and nothing to be ashamed of. Setting boundaries, reaching out, and creating your own traditions can help lighten the load. If sadness feels deep or persistent, seeking professional support is completely okay. You don't have to force joy or pretend everything is fine. Mental health doesn't take a holiday, and your feelings are valid. Talking about it can reduce pressure and remind others they're not alone.
My name is Jesse Ramos Jr., and I am a transformation artist here in New York City and also motivational speaker.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Yes, my mental health journey has been quite complex for many years, especially growing up. I'm 39 years old, but I struggled a lot in my early teens and early 20s with my sexuality. So, being a gay Latino in a predominantly very small conservative town led.
My name's Josh Novick, and I am a licensed clinical professional counselor.
What inspired you to get into the mental health field?
There are two distinct instances that encouraged me to get into the mental health field. The first is my own experience within the mental health field, and that is dealing with some mental health challenges as a teenager and seeking out therapy as a teenager. And then my other experience and opportunity came to be in mental health field when I was a teacher on the west side.
Social anxiety is more than just shyness. It's a real struggle that many face. It's the intense fear of being judged or embarrassed in social situations. Imagine feeling overwhelmed just thinking about speaking up in a meeting, or dreading the thought of attending a social event. People with social anxiety often experience physical symptoms like a racing heart or sweating. It can feel like you're under a spotlight and everyone is watching you. Many cope by avoiding social interactions altogether, which can be isolating. But here's the good news. Treatment can help. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or
family and relationship conflict is a natural part of human connection. It arises when our needs, expectations, or communication styles clash. But it's not the conflict itself that's the issue, it's how we handle it. Unresolved conflict can create emotional distance and resentment. On the flip side, healthy conflict resolution can strengthen our bonds. When we approach conflict with care, it becomes a chance for growth. Common triggers include finances, boundaries, and parenting. Signs of unhealthy conflict are avoidance, criticism, and defensiveness. Addressing issues calmly fosters empathy and respect.
Coping with stress is all about how we handle life's ups and downs. It's our way of staying balanced when things get tough. Stress is our body's natural alarm system, kicking in when we face challenges. But when stress sticks around, it can really wear us down. It affects our sleep, our immune system, and our mental health. Healthy coping isn't about getting rid of stress entirely. It's about managing it in ways that help us thrive. Look out for signs like irritability, fatigue, and trouble focusing. Effective coping strategies include exercise, mindfulness, and leaning on friends. These methods can lower stress hormones and help us feel more in control. Over time, they boost our emotional awareness and problem-solving skills. Catching stress early means we can take action before it spirals into burnout.
Imposter syndrome is that nagging feeling of self-doubt, even when you've achieved so much. It was first identified by psychologists Clance and Eames, and it's surprisingly common among high achievers. Many believe their success is just luck or timing, not their own abilities. Despite their accomplishments, they often fear being exposed as frauds. It's not a mental illness, but a pattern that can really impact your confidence and motivation. Common signs include perfectionism and overworking yourself. You might downplay your achievements or avoid new challenges out of fear. These feelings can lead to anxiety and burnout, which is tough, but recognizing imposter syndrome can actually be empowering. It encourages self-awareness and emotional growth, which is key. Understanding that these feelings are common helps normalize the experience. To combat these feelings, try keeping a success journal to track your wins. Reflect on positive feedback and notice your progress over time. Talking to mentors or therapists can offer valuable perspective.
Have you ever felt like someone is just stringing you along? That's breadcrumbing, when someone gives just enough attention to keep you interested without any real commitment. It's a manipulative tactic often found in dating or friendships. You might notice inconsistent communication designed to maintain control or emotional attachment. Look out for irregular messages, vague plans, or that false hope they keep dangling. Recognizing breadcrumbing is key to breaking unhealthy emotional cycles. It helps you reclaim your self-worth and emotional health. Responding with clarity and setting boundaries is crucial. Value consistent behavior over empty promises. Remember, you deserve full attention, not.
Overthinking is when your mind gets stuck replaying past events or worrying about future outcomes. It's often tied to anxiety, perfectionism, and self-doubt. Instead of solving problems, you find yourself spiraling into what-if scenarios. This can heighten stress and lead to indecision. Overthinking drains your energy and clouds your judgment. You might replay conversations or second-guess your choices. Recognizing this habit is the first step toward change. Awareness allows you to pause before the spiral deepens. This creates space for balance and perspective. In moderation, reflection can foster growth and better decision-making. But it needs to be guided, not obsessive. To manage overthinking, try mindfulness.
Have you ever felt overwhelmed by a manipulative person? Gray rocking is a powerful strategy. It's all about becoming emotionally unreactive, like a gray rock. The goal? To limit drama and emotional manipulation. This technique is perfect when you can't completely distance yourself, like in family situations or at work. By offering minimal responses, you take back control. Gray rocking helps maintain your emotional safety. It reduces the power narcissistic individuals have over you, and it prevents situations from escalating further. Remember, this is self-protection, not avoidance. To practice gray rocking, keep your tone neutral and your answer short. Avoid.
Boundaries are essential for protecting our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. They're the limits we set in our relationships, work, and daily life. Think of boundaries as guidelines that help us express our comfort levels. They are crucial for self-respect and clear communication. Healthy boundaries can reduce feelings of resentment and stress. They create a safe space for authentic connections. On the flip side, poor boundaries can leave us feeling drained. Setting boundaries means calmly communicating our needs. It's about saying no when we need to and yes with intention. Practicing boundaries can be strengthened through therapy or journaling. Remember, boundaries aren't walls.
Every October, we take a moment to shine a light on mental health during Mental Illness Awareness Week. Mental Illness Awareness Week, or MIAW, happens in the first full week of October. It was established in 1990, thanks to advocacy from the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. The aim? To reduce stigma, increase understanding, and promote support for those affected by mental illness. Throughout the week, communities and organizations run campaigns to raise awareness about mental health conditions. They share stories and advocate for better access to care. This year's themes focus on community, connection, and mental well-being. It's a reminder that no one should face mental illness alone. Activities include mental health screenings, panel discussions, and storytelling.
Grandiosity is that feeling of being larger than life, like you're on top of the world. It's an inflated sense of self-importance, where you believe you're exceptional in ways that might not be true. Psychologists say it's a state of mind where someone thinks they have extraordinary talents or influence. This can show up in personality disorders, during manic episodes, or as a way to cope with trauma. Often, it's a defense mechanism against feeling inadequate or vulnerable. You might notice signs like overconfidence, setting unrealistic goals, or ignoring feedback. Some people think the usual rules just don't apply to them. While a little confidence can drive success, too much grandiosity can hurt relationships. It clouds judgment and can lead to risky behaviors. In mental health, it often swings between high self-esteem and deep lows, creating emotional chaos. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, can help uncover the insecurities behind grandiosity. Building self-awareness and practicing humility are essential steps toward balance. Honest feedback from loved ones can be a game changer too. They can help by setting boundaries and encouraging you to seek help instead of confronting you.
Self-harm is when someone intentionally hurts their own body, not to die, but to cope with overwhelming emotional pain. Often called non-suicidal self-injury, self-harm includes actions like cutting, burning, or hitting without suicidal intent. It's a behavior linked to mental distress, often tied to conditions like depression or trauma. Many people hide their self-harm, wearing long sleeves or avoiding situations where their scars might show. Common reasons for self-harm include trying to relieve emotional pain or expressing feelings they can't put into words. Even though the intent isn't suicidal, those who self-harm are at a higher risk for future suicide attempts. Hoarding is more than just collecting. It's a serious mental health issue. It can affect your safety, relationships, and emotional well-being. The American Psychiatric Association defines hoarding disorder as a struggle to part with possessions, no matter their value. This urge often comes from anxiety, distress, or a need for security. When clutter takes over, it can feel impossible to let go. People with hoarding disorder often feel shame and isolation. Clutter can create safety hazards and impact physical health. Emotionally, hoarding is linked to anxiety, depression, and trauma. It's not about being lazy, it's about deep emotional attachments.
Mental health literacy is all about understanding mental health, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. It was first introduced in 1997 and refers to knowledge about mental disorders that helps us recognize, manage, and prevent them. This includes spotting signs of mental illness, knowing risk factors, and understanding both self-help and professional resources. Having high mental health literacy means we can recognize problems earlier and reduce stigma around mental health. It also leads to better access to treatment and more community support for those in need. Communities that prioritize mental health literacy often see improved outcomes like reduced severity of disorders and increased help-seeking behavior. We can build mental health.
Mindful breathing is a simple yet powerful way to calm your mind and body. By focusing on your breath, you anchor yourself in the present moment and ease stress. It activates your body's relaxation response, shifting you from chaos to calm. Practicing mindful breathing can lower blood pressure and reduce anxiety. It also sharpens your focus and helps you manage your emotions better. Over time, it builds resilience and can even improve your sleep quality. One effective technique is box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. You can also try belly breathing. Just place a hand on your abdomen and feel it rise and fall with each breath.
Coping skills are essential for managing stress and navigating life's challenges. They come in many forms, some healthy, like exercise and mindfulness, and some unhealthy, like avoidance or substance use. The goal is to help us adjust in the moment and recover over time. Healthy coping strategies improve resilience and protect our mental health. They can lower anxiety, boost problem solving, and give us a sense of control. Using effective coping skills builds confidence in handling adversity. This makes future challenges feel less overwhelming. Building these skills is an ongoing process. Try relaxation techniques like deep breathing or journaling to process emotions.
Rapid cycling bipolar disorder means experiencing intense mood swings more frequently than usual. It's defined as having 4 or more mood episodes in a year, whether that's mania, hypomania, or depression. This can happen in both bipolar and bipolar II disorders. People with rapid cycling can shift between highs and lows in just days or weeks. These quick changes often come with more severe symptoms and a higher risk of suicidal thoughts. Treatment can be tricky, as rapid cycling is often resistant to standard therapies. A tailored treatment plan is essential for managing these mood swings. Common medications include mood stabilizers like lithium and certain antipsychotics. Therapy, good sleep habits, and stress management are also crucial. avoiding triggers like substance use can make a big difference. Working closely with a psychiatrist and regular check-ins are key to stability. While rapid cycling can be tough, early diagnosis and consistent care can lead to a fulfilling life.
Emotional regulation is all about managing your feelings effectively. It's recognizing, understanding, and expressing emotions in healthy ways. Instead of pushing feelings down, you learn to work with them constructively. When you regulate your emotions well, you improve your relationships and decision-making. You also build resilience and experience less conflict and stress. This clarity can even boost your physical health over time. Unchecked emotions like anger or anxiety can really take a toll on your body. So, how can you practice emotional regulation? Techniques like journaling and mindfulness meditation are great starts. Therapy can also be a powerful tool for emotional growth.
Psychosis is a state where thoughts and perceptions become disrupted, making it hard to tell what's real. It's not a diagnosis, but a symptom that can occur in various mental health conditions. People may experience hallucinations, delusions, or disorganized thinking. Warning signs can appear before a full episode, like social withdrawal or difficulty concentrating. During psychosis, someone might hear voices or see things that aren't there. If untreated, it can deeply impact daily life and relationships. Early intervention is key to managing psychosis effectively. Treatment often includes antipsychotic medication and therapy. Coordinated specialty care models show better outcomes for first episodes. Education and community resources.
A digital detox is all about taking intentional breaks from technology. It helps reduce the overstimulation we get from screens and social media. By stepping back, you give your brain a chance to reset and recover. Feeling overwhelmed? A digital detox can improve your mood and sleep. It boosts your focus and strengthens your social connections. You'll notice lower stress levels and less eye strain too. Plus, it helps combat that nagging feeling of comparison and information overload. Research shows it can even enhance your productivity. So, how can you practice a digital detox? Start with
Furious is an extreme state of anger that can feel overwhelming. It often comes from feelings of injustice or betrayal. You know, when someone crosses a line you never thought they would. When you're furious, your body reacts. Racing heart, clenched muscles, adrenaline pumping. It can be destructive if you let it spiral out of control. But fury can also be a signal that something needs to change. Managing that fury is key. Try grounding techniques like deep breathing. Pause before you react. Give yourself a moment to think. Seek support from friends or professionals if you need it. Channel that energy into something constructive, like advocacy or problem solving. Remember, furious emotions are powerful. When guided with care, they can transform into purposeful energy.
I'm Paulina Shkadron, and I am a speech language pathologist with a background in trauma-informed care and neurodiversity affirming approaches. I'm also certified as a trauma professional and a specialist in ADHD.
What inspired you to get into the health field?
Well, I feel like the field found me in a way. It wasn't something that I was.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh ways to handle all the stuff that feels, well, uncontrollable.
Hi, I'm Madison Mays.
And I'm Sophia Lee.
Brought to you by Cloudcast Media.
Our goal is to eliminate the mystery and myths surrounding youth mental health and to answer your most intriguing questions.
Let's have some fun and explore the uncontrollable. Today will be a mini episode, and you'll just be able to get to know us. Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh ways.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh ways to
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh ways.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh ways to handle all the stuff that feels, well, uncontrollable.
Today we're here with Lori Chapman, a licensed marriage and family therapist who has received extensive training in 6 different evidence-based therapy models. She specializes in everything from EMDR to sports psychology to complex relationships and more. Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools, and fresh.
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools,
Welcome to Uncontrollable, the podcast where we break the stigma, get loud, and get real about youth mental health. Truth is that having mental health struggles isn't weird, unnatural, or something to be ashamed of. It means you're human. Mental health affects us all, directly or indirectly. You're not alone.
We're here to remind you that some things in life are out of your control, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Mental health doesn't have to be scary or heavy all the time. It can also be a very fun and relatable topic. This podcast is packed with stories, tools,
Jenny Coleman, Director of Stop It Now.
What inspired you to get into the child welfare field?
I wanted to since I was in high school, to be quite honest. I was a kid who needed help themselves and felt like when I had a job one day, I wanted it to be helping kids. But it wasn't always in child sex abuse, which is what specifically Stop It Now does. But in many ways now I believe that so many of the things that I care about, from the environment to
Sam DeBianchi Laviola. I am the realtor and founder of DeBianchi Real Estate.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Sure. So my mental health journey is interesting. I early on, when I was younger, back in middle school, being a female was difficult. I was bullied quite a bit, and I definitely had a lot of moments of feeling alone and depressed. On top of that, I looked different. I was heavier looking. I had acne. I had everything that you wouldn't want as a female in middle school. facial hair. Of course, I'm Italian, so we all have facial hair. And like I said, I got bullied in an extreme amount. Thankfully, I also played sports. I played a lot of tennis, so that was a bit of my outlet. But growing up with
Cassie Levitt, President, East Region Connections Health Solutions.
What inspired you to get into the mental health field?
Oh, wow. I think even as a kid, I just really enjoyed helping people. And then as I got older, realizing that there wasn't a lot of help out there and there was so much stigma. So I wanted to be part of the change to help move the system forward. And I actually started a lot of my work in Arizona, which is kind of like.
What is peace? It's more than just a word. It's a state of inner calm and harmony, often seen as the opposite of conflict or chaos. Psychologists define peace as emotional balance and freedom from distress. It's something we can cultivate within ourselves and in our relationships with others. The benefits of peace are profound. It supports mental clarity, reduces stress, and even improves our physical health. It fosters compassion, patience, and healthier connections with those around us. Research shows that inner peace is linked to resilience and overall well-being. When we find peace,
My name is Johnny Crowder, and I am the founder and CEO of Cope Notes.
What inspired you to create Cope Notes?
The short version is that I grew up with severe mental illness, and I didn't want anything to do with treatment. So I didn't want to go to therapy. I didn't want to take medication. And then eventually I started in treatment and started making progress. And people would ask me, how are you making this progress? And I'd tell them, oh, it's not rocket science, therapy and medication. They go, ew, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, I know, that's how I felt.
Satisfaction is more than just a fleeting moment of happiness. It's the deep contentment that comes from achieving our goals and meeting our expectations. It's that fulfilling feeling that ties us to our progress and accomplishments, reminding us that we are capable of great things. When we feel satisfied, our confidence gets a boost, our motivation is reinforced, and we experience long-term well-being. People who embrace satisfaction often report greater stability in their lives and a significant reduction in stress. To cultivate satisfaction, take time to reflect on your achievements, practice gratitude, and set realistic goals for yourself. Celebrating those small wins is crucial. It strengthens the habit of recognizing our progress and keeps.
Amusement is that delightful spark we feel when something tickles our funny bone or entertains us. It's all about laughter, smiles, and a playful spirit. Amusement offers a refreshing break from our daily grind, relieving stress and strengthening our connections with others. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, easing tension and fostering a sense of belonging. Sharing a good laugh not only enhances our relationships, but also builds trust and unity. Even a quick chuckle can elevate our mood and ignite creativity. To invite more amusement into our lives, we can seek out humor, binge-watch comedies, share jokes with friends, or dive into playful activities. Research shows that by intentionally noticing the funny moments each day.
Embarrassment is that awkward feeling we all know too well. It's that moment when you realize you've crossed a social line. You might blush, laugh nervously, or even want to disappear. It's a natural response to feeling exposed. But here's the thing. Embarrassment shows us we care about social norms. It can even motivate us to mend relationships or change our behavior. Coping with embarrassment can be tough, but self-compassion, humor, and seeing things from a different perspective can help. And remember, most embarrassing moments fade faster than we think. They're often just a blip on the radar. So, while embarrassment might feel uncomfortable, it actually helps us stay humble and connected with others.
The fight or flight response is our body's instinctive reaction to perceived danger, a survival mechanism that has been with us since the dawn of humanity. When we face a threat, our sympathetic nervous system kicks in, releasing adrenaline and cortisol. This prepares us to either confront the danger head-on or flee to safety. You might notice symptoms like a racing heart, quickened breath, and tense muscles. Blood rushes to vital organs and muscles, sharpening our senses and reflexes, making us ready to act in critical moments. While this response is essential for survival, constant activation can lead to health issues like anxiety, high blood pressure, and burnout. It's crucial to learn how to manage this.
Addiction is a chronic condition that compels individuals to seek out substances or behaviors, even when they know the consequences can be harmful. It's a complex brain disorder that alters how we experience reward, motivation, and memory, making it incredibly challenging to stop even when the risks are clear. Addiction can manifest through substances like alcohol, nicotine, or opioids, as well as behaviors such as gambling or gaming. Common signs include intense cravings, increased tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and a loss of control over one's actions. The impact of addiction extends beyond the individual, affecting health, relationships, and daily life, often leading to feelings of shame and stigma. Yet, it also
Dopamine is often called the reward chemical, but it does so much more than just make us feel good. It's a neurotransmitter that regulates motivation, movement, learning, and mood, playing a central role in our brain's reward system. Healthy dopamine levels support focus, motivation, and pleasure, while low levels can lead to depression and Parkinson's disease. On the flip side, too much dopamine can fuel impulsivity and addiction. It's all about balance. You can naturally boost dopamine through exercise, quality sleep, and setting achievable goals. In some cases, medications target dopamine pathways to help treat conditions like ADHD or Parkinson's. Remember, dopamine drives our motivation and reward, showing just how deep.
Mourning is the outward expression of grief after a significant loss, and it's something we all experience in our own way. It encompasses cultural and personal rituals, like funerals and memorials, or even simple acts of remembrance. While mourning varies across cultures, its purpose is universal, to create space for grief and connection. Mourning provides a structure for expressing grief, honoring our loved ones, and beginning the healing process. It helps us acknowledge loss, process our emotions, and lean on others for support. Rituals like lighting candles or gathering as a community allow us to share our grief.
Loneliness is more than just being alone. It's the distress we feel when our social connections fall short of our needs. It's that feeling of being disconnected, unseen, or unsupported, even in a crowded room. Loneliness can lead to serious issues like depression, anxiety, and even heart disease. But it also serves as a reminder of our deep need for belonging and connection. When we feel lonely, it motivates us to reach out, to seek those connections we crave. Consider reaching out to friends, joining a group, volunteering, or even talking to a therapist. These actions can help reduce feelings of loneliness and foster a sense of community. Ultimately, loneliness highlights our human need for connection and reminds us that
sadness is a universal human emotion that signals loss, disappointment, or unmet needs. It's something we all experience, yet it can feel isolating. This emotion is a normal and healthy response to life's challenges. It often manifests as a low mood, tearfulness, withdrawal, and decreased energy. While it can be uncomfortable, sadness is a vital part of our emotional landscape. Though painful, sadness serves an important purpose. It allows us to process our experiences, reflect on our feelings, and seek comfort from others. Psychologists highlight that sadness can enhance our empathy, deepen our compassion, and build resilience over time. Research shows that expressing sadness in healthy ways can prevent it from escalating into more serious mental health issues. It's a signal that we need to take care of ourselves and our emotional well-being. Coping with sadness is essential. Strategies include talking with trusted friends or family, journaling to process feelings, practicing mindfulness, and engaging in creative outlets. Music, art, or nature can provide a safe release for those heavy emotions. Remember, sadness is usually temporary, though its intensity can vary.
Purpose is the sense of direction and meaning that drives our lives, shaping our experiences and choices. It connects our actions to values and goals that truly matter to us. Purpose gives us a reason to rise each day, influencing how we spend our time, energy, and talents. Research shows that having a purpose is linked to higher motivation, better mental health, and resilience in the face of challenges. It can even lead to a longer life. Those with a strong sense of purpose often feel more fulfilled, engaged, and connected to others, providing stability during stressful times and helping us navigate setbacks with a clearer vision. Building and strengthening your purpose is a journey. Explore your passions, set long-term goals, and reflect on emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the secret sauce to understanding and managing emotions, yours and others. It's made up of 5 key components: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These skills shape how we see the world, connect with others, and tackle challenges. Having a high EQ means better relationships, effective leadership, and less stress. It helps you navigate conflicts, show empathy, and build strong connections. Research shows EQ is just as crucial as IQ for success in life and work. The great news? You can develop your EQ. Mindfulness boosts self-awareness, pausing before.
Forgiveness is the decision to let go of resentment, even when the hurt feels deep. It doesn't excuse harmful behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the heavy weight of anger and bitterness. Forgiveness is a choice to move forward, not a denial of what happened. Research shows forgiveness reduces stress, improves relationships, and supports both physical and mental health. It can bring peace, improve sleep, and enhance empathy toward others. Studies suggest forgiveness may lower blood pressure and reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. By releasing resentment, people create space for healthier connections and greater emotional resilience. Forgiveness takes time and doesn't have.
Active Minds is a nonprofit dedicated to changing the way young people talk about mental health. Founded in 2003, Active Minds empowers college and high school students to create open conversations and supportive communities around mental health. With over 500 student-led chapters and peer-led events, Active Minds brings mental health awareness directly to campuses. Their work reduces stigma and encourages students to seek help when they need it. By amplifying youth voices, Active Minds helps build a future where mental health is openly discussed, supported, and understood.
Mental Health America, or MHA, is the nation's leading nonprofit dedicated to mental health advocacy and prevention. Founded in 1909, MHA has been at the forefront of promoting mental wellness for over a century. Their mission focuses on early identification and intervention, aiming to stop mental health conditions before they escalate into crises. They believe that everyone deserves access to mental health resources. One of MHA's key programs is their free mental health screening tool, which millions of people use each year to assess their mental health. This tool is a vital first step in seeking help and understanding one's mental state. In addition to screenings, MHA engages in
The National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, is the largest grassroots mental health organization in the United States. Founded in 1979, NAMI's mission is to improve the lives of people affected by mental health conditions through education, advocacy, and community support. NAMI offers free education programs, support groups, and helplines to connect individuals and families with resources. Their advocacy efforts have helped improve mental health policy.
Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is more than just feeling down during the winter months. It's a type of depression that can really impact your life. SAD typically kicks in as the days get shorter in late fall or winter, affecting your mood, energy, and daily activities. Some people even feel it in spring or summer. Key signs of SAD include fatigue, oversleeping, weight changes, and a loss of interest in things you once loved. It's not just the winter blues, it can seriously disrupt work and relationships. But there's hope. Treatment options like light therapy, talk therapy, and medication can help. Plus, lifestyle changes like daily exercise and getting enough vitamin D can make a big difference. staying socially connected and keeping.
Mindfulness has become a buzzword in our fast-paced world. But what does it really mean? At its core, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings just as they are, without trying to change them. Practicing mindfulness can lead to a multitude of benefits. It reduces stress, enhances focus, and helps regulate emotions. Plus, it fosters greater compassion for yourself and others, creating a more empathetic world. You can cultivate mindfulness through various practices. Try meditation, engage in mindful breathing, or simply slow down and become aware of your daily experiences.
Generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, affects millions of people around the world. It's more than just everyday worry. It's a constant companion that can feel overwhelming. GAD is characterized by persistent and excessive anxiety about routine events or activities. This anxiety can last for months or even years, making it hard to find peace. Common symptoms include restlessness, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, irritability, muscle tension, and trouble sleeping. The worry often feels uncontrollable and can significantly impact daily life. But there is hope. Treatment options like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Resilience is like a rubber band. It stretches but always bounces back. It's not about dodging life's punches, but learning to dance in the rain. Resilience is that inner strength that helps us rise after a fall, turning setbacks into comebacks. Resilient folks stay hopeful, think outside the box, and lean on their tribe for support. They feel pain, but they also find ways to heal and keep moving forward. Building resilience takes time. Self-care, perspective, and adaptability are key. Surround yourself with a supportive community. You're never alone in this journey. Even small steps like journaling can boost your resilience. Remember, growth and healing are possible, and with support, we can emerge stronger.
Schizophrenia affects millions worldwide, yet it's often misunderstood and stigmatized. It's a mental health condition that alters how one thinks, feels, and perceives reality, not a split personality. Common symptoms include hallucinations, delusions, disorganized speech, and social withdrawal, impacting daily life. With the right treatment and support, individuals can lead fulfilling lives. Early intervention is key. Recovery is possible. With compassion and care, those with schizophrenia can thrive and find meaning.
Uma Chatterjee. I am a neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the host of A Chat with Uma and president of OCD Wisconsin.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Absolutely. I have been mentally ill since I was born. At least that's the way my clinicians and I conceive my journey, in that from my earliest memories, I have been colored by intrusive, unwanted, unrelenting, horrific thoughts and doing behaviors to try to
Christian DeLuna, founder of Luna Game Lab, and I'm a co-founder of Asian Mental Health Collective. And current board chair, sorry.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Yeah, for sure. So at the very least, I have a lived experience of major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder for the past 20 some odd years, and self-diagnosed as far as ADHD goes, just based off of some recent conversations with my therapist and also some recent learnings of just family history. So yeah, that's kind of where I'd say my background is.
So what inspired you to create Luna Game Labs?
Yeah, for me, it was very much driven by this passion to be able to tell mental health stories and narratives to promote awareness and understanding for difficulties folks may be going through. A big part of it was tied to my upbringing and with lived experience, but also being a care.
I'm Katie Patel. I'm a clinical psychologist.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Sure. It probably started a lot earlier than I recognized when I was younger. I grew up in a household where it was a close-knit family, but I was also witnessing my grandma go through the battle of schizophrenia. And from a young child, I really had a lot of anxiety and fear about just what was to come, and a lot of, I guess, turmoil at times in the house, nothing that my grandma personally could control.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lacey Rosenbaum. I am the CEO and founder of the Mental Health and Resilience Group.
What inspired you to get into the mental health field?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple reasons. I know my own family history, folks who've experienced mental health challenges. I myself have struggled with anxiety and postpartum anxiety. Were all some pretty driving factors for me. And then yeah, I originally.
My name is Ryan Sutera. I'm owner of Support the Spectrum, and I'm a neurodiversity affirming speech language pathologist.
What inspired you to get into the neurodiversity field?
I believe I could trace it back to a moment I had with a client when I was in grad school. I think it just sparked something in me, and I knew that I really wanted to work with the disabled community and connect with people, even if they were non-speaking. We can definitely connect.
My name is Tremaine Sales Dunbar. I'm a PhD student at the University of South Carolina, 4th year.
Can you tell me about your mental health journey?
Yeah, so I had my first episode when I was 21, and I was diagnosed as bipolar, I believe one, the severe one. And then I basically was homeless for about 6 months, and I got into a Bible college.
Paulo Aranaga Grayson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of No Matter What Recovery, No Matter What Recovery Detox, and No Matter What Recovery Residences.
Can you tell me about your own journey?
Yes, of course. So, I'm sober. My sobriety date is October 7th, 2015. I grew up in a very small suburb of New Orleans called Slidell, Louisiana. I grew up in a very conservative Republican.
My name is Mel McCracken, and I'm the executive director of No Matter What Recovery in Los Angeles, California.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
My own mental health journey. I think I can identify with, the majority of Americans that have struggled with anxiety and depression on and off. And I'm also a person in recovery, which is directly linked and coincides with good mental health.
Can you tell me how you got involved with your organization?
Absolutely. Well, I would say that being a person in recovery and having walked through the experience of, suffering alone and, kind of feeling very isolated and, not having a place or a space to seek help or even how to ask for help. When I actually took the initiative and was introduced to the recovery process of recovering from substances and mental health, it kind of became a passion piece, and I wanted to help others, right? I didn't want other people to suffer or feel like they were alone.
My name is Jeff Brown. I'm a patented inventor, and I call myself the bipolarist.
Can you tell me about your own mental health journey?
Sure. And more than anything, Michael, thank you for inviting me on the platform. Things like this and sharing my story really help. It really helped me give back to the community that's helped me so much, but make me feel like it's all been worthwhile. So I can tell you about
you.
Yeah, man. And thanks for the work you're doing. So yeah, to answer your question, I think my journey started
Tamar. I'm the CEO and founder of Mental Happy.
What inspired you to get into the mental health technology field?
I've been pretty passionate about support groups since I was in high school. Me and a few fellow classmates started a small support group for underclassmen that felt bullied or overwhelmed or isolated. We paired them with upperclassmen to help them walk to class, have someone to sit with during lunch. So I've just always had a passion for helping people and trying to
Bonnie Lane, Principal Consultant at the Family Support Services, LLC.
What inspired you to get into the mental health field?